So Travelodge Premier Inn, both of them aiming for the same market, both of them a budget chain. One of them has been going a bit longer than the other, and that's Travelodge. The other one in comparison is the new kid on the block, and that's Premier Inn. We have been stopping for the last, I would say, 10 years on an almost monthly basis at Premier Inn. Wherever we go, we always try and find one. It's been about 15 years since we've stopped in a Travelodge. It was always okay, but just okay. We thought, for a change, we'll give it a go and see what Travelodge has got to offer today, because I want to see which one's best, Premier Inn or Travelodge. Anyway, this is what I found. So the Travelodge Cockermouth doesn't look very inspiring outside, but it's inside what counts. Let's have a look in. Looks at that. So, for the first time in about 15 years, Travelodge room, to be quite honest, basic. Having said that, initially it looks clean. The bed is not as big as a Premier Inn bed, but better than I remember. And we've got the bathroom. And the bath, which to be honest I wasn't expecting. So that's a pleasant surprise. Power shower. And everything looks nice and clean. So happy with that. Not a very big telly, but it is a telly. Somewhere to sit. Room with a view. One thing I noticed straight away, it is very, very chilly in here. So there's a little heater there which hopefully is going to work, because it is cold. So initial thoughts, compared to a Premier Inn, it's a poor man's Premier Inn, I would turn around and say. Having said that, it is cheaper than the Premier Inn. So if you are on a budget, this looks quite a good option. Anyway, early days yet. So let's get our bags up. If you don't want to eat inside the Travelodge, just round the corner you've got a big garage. You've also got a Co-op, Greggs and a Subway as well. So one thing we always do when we come to a Premier Inn, we always order a meal deal. And a Premier Inn meal deal consists of a 2-course evening meal and a drink, which is either a pint of beer, lager, cider or a glass of wine. Your meal deal also comes with an unlimited breakfast, which is a full English cooked breakfast, continental breakfast and or combination of both. Travelodge is doing exactly the same thing there now for round about the same price. The first thing we've noticed, it doesn't come with a drink, and the drinks here aren't that cheap. It does look quite basic, to be quite honest. Normally the Premier Inns have an adjoined brewer's fare, beef eater, that type of thing. Occasionally they'll have their own in-house food, and we found that when we went to Scarborough last year. They had their own in-house food, which was very, very nice. So I do think the meal deal must be a new thing that they're trying out, because I think it's just started here. The guy that checked us in was very, very helpful, very, very friendly, and when we were chatting to him about a meal tonight, I'm sure he said he was doing the cooking as well, and we may have to wait for a while for our food, which is no big deal. But as regards menu, this is what we've got here. 2-course meal deal, $12.75, and that's obviously per person. Choose one meal, one side or a dessert. So you've got burgers there, you've got pizzas, you've got chicken, different types, classics. The sides, which I'm assuming must be the starter. So you can either have a starter and a main meal, or a main meal and a dessert. There's your unlimited breakfast, $8.99, and just like Premier Inn, kids eat free. I think it's kids under 15. I think if the parents are having a full priced breakfast, the children will eat free. So you've got your full English breakfast there, you've got cereals, you've got bakery stuff, fruit, yoghurt and drinks. Very good value. I've got 2 seats here, fair enough. They're not what you call comfortable seats. We checked in bang on 3 o'clock because the weather outside wasn't very good. So we've got about 3 hours to kill before we intend to go down and have our evening meal. Unless you want to lie on the bed, you've got these 2 hard seats. The bar downstairs doesn't open until 5 o'clock. It's just a case of killing a bit of time there now. So one thing Mrs. Metalman's just noticed is I don't know if you can see it there. It's a big cobweb there. And when you look up there,
oh my God,
there's a spider there.
my worst nightmare.
As Mrs. Metalman's just said, that's her worst nightmare. She's terrified of them. So that will have to go before she gets into bed tonight. Initially it looked very, very clean, but on closer inspection, not as clean as I initially thought.
It's like all the way down there. I keep catching them on my arms. I can feel something like dangling.
Well, after Spidergate, I think we'll sit down and have a nice cup of tea. So we've got tea, coffee. Yeah, the little things that you miss, like a bedside cabinet. So on a night time you can put down your tablet, your drink, your phone. So nothing like that. So you have got a little alcove there which you can put maybe a drink in. But that would have been nice to have something like that. And the other thing is, in the Premier Inn, I'm used to having a nice comfortable sofa bed there rather than like a hard chair. As always, I do a completely unbiased review. We have paid for our room, but it is a Sunday night. The place looks like it's just about deserted, and the Premier Inn just up the road there, about a quarter of a mile, was about £15 more expensive. So is that £15 worth the money? We'll find out later on. Mrs. Metalman's nodding there saying it is. Anyway, let's give this place a chance first. Well, having a bath was interesting. Okay, I'm 16 stone. It was very difficult to get a proper bath. You couldn't lie out in it. I'll give you an example, because Mrs. Metalman came in the bathroom when I was in the bath and was trying to get all the soap off us. She took one look at us and burst out in hysterics and insisted on taking a photograph. It might be a little bit blurry because she was shaking so much through laughter I had, definitely not excitement, and but you could not stretch out in it. So it was either, if you wanted to lay back, your knees were almost up to your chest, or if you wanted to sit down, you were literally sitting down because you couldn't lie back. Maybe as a contortionist would have a better time of it than I did. Definitely not a comfortable bath. To be fair, I wasn't expecting a bath. I thought it was only going to be a shower, so that the bath was a bit of a bonus. But if you're going to put a bath in, it needs to be a bath you can lie down in. So I don't want to be completely fair. I have read on the Travelodge website that they are going through a refurbishment program, and some of the photographs I've seen do look very, very impressive indeed. This obviously hasn't been refurbished, so I'm assuming it is on the list. It would be really nice to stop in one of the refurbished rooms to compare it, the room that we're in there now, how that compares with a Premier Inn room. They do a super room as well, as do Premier Inn. Again, it will be nice to compare. Next time we go away, I'll see if we can get booked into one of them rooms so we can do a proper full comparison. So menu, burgers are available apart from the breakfast burger, no pizzas at all available. Chicken classics are available. So food looks quite nice, to be honest. I haven't tasted it yet, but it looks very, very nice. We had a 45-minute wait for it, but not complaining about that. Again, poor lad there by himself. But there's only me and Mrs. Metalman in here. There's only 10 cars in the car park, so I would hate to think what would happen if all 10 carfuls came down here and decided to eat at the same time. Poor lad would be run off his feet. Anyway, let's see what this tastes like. All done. Got to be honest, I didn't enjoy that at all. Chips were like cardboard, chicken dry, so it really needed that barbecue sauce. The coleslaw was not very nice. So both finished there now. Let's put it this way, I wouldn't be ordering that again. Let's see what the dessert's like. Can it be any worse? So 2 Knickerbocker Glories, which is not what I would expect. Yeah, let's give it a go. For me, it was coffee ice cream with a banana chopped up inside. So I've had half of it, but didn't really want the rest. See what breakfast awaits us tomorrow. Nothing to do with the young lad that was working down here, who was doing like everybody's job. It reminded me of that film Carry On Abroad, where the hotel manager was also the hotel porter, which was also the waiter, who was also the poor lad. Tried his hardest. Now he will be getting paid peanuts, and I'll guarantee there'll be some CEO at the top end creaming off a nice big fat profit. Now we aren't complainers, but there will be a lot of people that come here that are complainers, that will be looking for something to complain about, and that poor lad will get the brunt of it. Feel so sorry for him. Now I think we paid about £85–90 or something with the meal deal. So some people might say, well, what do you expect? I'll tell you something, I expect a lot more than that. So disappointed with the breakfast. I must admit I cleaned my plate. Having said that, we had no dinner yesterday when we were travelling over. I didn't eat anything last night for my evening meal, hardly, and so this morning I was hungry. Ingredients for me weren't as good as Premier Inn. The juice tasted like it was watered down, but neither one of us could finish it. It may just be a different brand. So all in all, a very disappointing stay at the Travelodge Cockermouth, to be quite honest. I was so wanting to really enjoy it here. We always stop at the Premier Inn whenever we come to the lakes, whether it's the one here at Cockermouth, the one at Penrith, or the new one that's going to get built in Keswick, which is due to open next month. What I've noticed with Premier Inn is the prices are creeping up. It's been tough for hotels, it's been tough for this industry altogether. It's tough for your customers as well in the middle of a cost of living crisis. So money is tight. We thought we'd give the Travelodge a go, and I must admit I was really hoping that it would be a really good stay. The outside when we came in wasn't a very welcoming. Having said that, the staff, I must admit, I found a very, very welcoming indeed. Try the hardest, do the best, but under very difficult circumstances. We had the young lad last night on reception. He was on reception checking people in. When we came down for our evening meal, he was the one that took our order. He was the one that was acting as barman. He was the one that was doing the cooking. He was also the waiter as well. To be fair, he tried his hardest, but with the best will in the world, you cannot be a jack of all trades, because you end up being master of none. And with the food that we got last night, I mean, we could constantly hear the microwave tinging all the time. Then somebody would come in reception, he would have to run out and leave the food, check somebody in, come back in again and start with the food again. Then somebody would come to the bar and want a drink, he'd have to come running out. Nah. And like I've already mentioned, I'll bet a pound to a penny somebody at the top end will be making a nice big fat profit. Why, the people at the bottom of the scale, they're the ones that's got to run around, do all the work and face all the abuse. Not from us, to be quite honest. We're not that type of person. Having said that, it is important to let people know what we found out. Premier Inn, you do get free Wi-Fi. Here you get 30 minutes free at the Travelodge. After that you've got to pay. There was one very small heater in our room which did the job. I wouldn't say I was warm, but I wasn't cold either, so fair play to them. I would hate to be in here on a hot summer's day. There's no air conditioning at all. Your windows open about 2 inches, so I should imagine it'll be very, very difficult on a hot summer's day inside the Travelodge. And I can't help but getting this feeling that Travelodge are basically a poor man's Premier Inn. Okay, it's a few pound cheaper. I was hoping I was going to be in pocket, to be quite honest. It's been false economy here. Now, to be totally fair, Travelodge are going through a refurbishment, and I've been looking online at some of the photographs of the new upgraded rooms. They look fantastic, but certain things will still be the same, assuming you've got the staff situation that you've got here at Cockermouth. One person trying to do 4 or 5 people's work. Come down this morning, there's about 20 cars here, so I would suggest it's not packed. Maybe that doesn't warrant a full complement of staff, but it does warrant more than one person. So to me it seems to be one thing after another. Travelodge trying to be Premier Inn but failing. I'd love to hear what you think of your stay at this particular Travelodge, or any Travelodge for that. So if you've got a good or bad experience, let me know in a comment. If you have watched the video all the way through, thank you very much, really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed it, click on the like button. Why not check my hotel reviews playlist? We've got some good, we've got some very good, and we've got some not so good.